Hello, my sweet summer children. I'm back with the juice to get you through the long night. So episode 4 is on the horizon, and in this video, we're going to break apart the preview trailer for episode 4. The White Walker chapter seems to be closed, and it looks like we will be getting 2 episodes of dealing with Cersei, and 1 episode that I think will be like half picking up the pieces and half of like an epilogue time jump. I don't know, but let's not get too far ahead of ourselves and let's focus on episode 4. Now comes the part that the series Game of Thrones is based on. Hashtag for the throne. Who will eventually sit on the Iron Throne? The Iron Throne seems to always be at the center of the drama of Westeros. So now I think we're gonna get the old school Game of Thrones, the war, the politics, the backstabbing, the betrayal, all of it is coming. Cersei seems to be the big problem of Westeros. Or is it Daenerys? Or is it Jon? Or is it the throne in general and people thinking they should rule other people because of their name and their lineage? Maybe these are the problems. In Winterfell, it looks like they are all outside of the gates of Winterfell, burning the dead from the Long Night battle. Present in the photo are Ghost, Daenerys, Jon, Sansa, Arya, Grey Worm, Tormund, Bran, Missandei, Varys, Lord Royce, Jaime, Brienne, and Podrick. If you look at this other shot, which is after the pyres are lit, it seems to be a huge blaze. I'm wondering like how far these fires are going to go back. It may just be like that entire field on fire. I would like that visual. At first, when I noticed Bran out there, it was like, okay, if the Night King is dead, why are they still burning the dead? Does Bran know something that we don't? Is the Night King really not dead? But the most logical reasoning is that this is a big funeral service for all that have fallen in battle. And burning them is not only the easiest way to get rid of a whole lot of bodies, it's also the traditional Targaryen funeral custom. It is also traditional wildling custom to burn the dead. And it should now be traditional North custom to burn the dead as well, seeing as though the Stark crypts prove not to be the safest burial custom should the Night King come again in the next 8,000 years. Anyway, I think someone, possibly Bran or Sam, may give some kind of eulogy for these brave men that died in battle, kind of like what Sam did for Maester Aemon. I think this shot of Jon Snow where he looks sad and sullen is from the same funeral scene. So Daenerys is giving a speech with Missandei and Varys. I also think this could be Tyrion right here. Daenerys says, "We have won the Great War. Now we will win the last war." I'm trying to decide if this is Winterfell though or some other northern castle because it doesn't really look like Winterfell to me. But everyone in the north came to Winterfell except for one castle. House Glover. So House Glover, we have only seen shots of the outside of Deepwood Motte. In the very first episode of season 8, Jon and Sansa talk about Lord Glover's betrayal in episode 1. Daenerys lost a big chunk of her army in the Great War, so maybe she goes there to try to win the support of Lord Glover. What I would like to see though is Jon Snow pulling a Robb Stark. Lord Glover swore to stand behind Jon from this day until his last, but he didn't. He turned tail and hid in Deepwood Motte while other Northerners and foreigners saved the North. So if you think back to season 1, Robb Stark, when Lord Umber was pissed about the Glovers leading the van, he threatened to march his forces home. Robb said he was welcome to do so. And when I am done with the Lannisters, I will march back north, root you out of your keep, and hang you for an oathbreaker. It would be nice to see someone finally pay for betraying the Starks. Someone other than Littlefinger. There was also mild foreshadowing that Lord Glover wouldn't like the fact that Jon was in a relationship with Daenerys because he accused Robb of being with a foreign whore and all of this nonsense. So maybe something will happen with that. Maybe they kill him for oath breaking and take his army, or maybe they just tell him to make it right by fighting with them in the last war, or maybe they do nothing. But this image doesn't look like Winterfell. Maybe it's White Harbor. It could be just some other part of Winterfell that we haven't seen, to be honest. In this photo, it seems the North is really warming up to Daenerys. We have people people like Lord Royce jumping for joy at whatever kind of speech she is saying. So clearly, she has won the favor of the North. She should have won the favor of the North because she sacrificed a lot to save the North. She put her entire army on the front lines, her dragons at risk, herself at risk. She lost her most trusted advisor, not for the throne, but for the North. This actually looks like it could be a wedding feast. I don't know. Could this constitute as a wedding gown? Does this look like what Targaryens get married in? It's definitely different than any other dress I've seen her in. It also looks like the table is only set for two. We see a happy crowd. I think I see Jon here and Tormund here, but I don't know what's going on. It could be just a feast, maybe a wedding feast. Maybe the best thing to do for Daenerys is to take Jon as her husband and claim the throne together. Also, it could just be like a celebratory feast of beating the White Walkers. In this photo, this is the same gown. Daenerys looks irritated in this clip, but I'm not sure if this is before or after the feast. In this photo, Sansa is watching the Unsullied leave Winterfell, while the small folk are making repairs to the castle. I think Sansa is going to be one of the more interesting characters in Season 8, because I think she may be the one that really shocks us all. When Sansa is looking off the battlements, it's hard to know where her mind is. We know in Episode 3 she told Tyrion that they would never work because of his loyalties to the Dragon Queen. So she's not a fan of Daenerys, but she also isn't a fan of Cersei. So she's kind of in the middle, like she's undecided. What does she want? What are Sansa's motivations? Arya says that Sansa is fighting for her family. So maybe she doesn't want Cersei or Daenerys to be queen. She wants Jon to be king, and that's the only way she will feel secure in her position. I think if Sansa teamed up with Cersei, that would bring an interesting dynamic to the story. Although I can't see that happening because Sansa would never trust Cersei. Sansa has already said that she thinks Daenerys, Tyrion, and Jon were stupid to trust her. But Sansa knows Cersei. She knows how she works. She knows how she thinks. She knows what to expect from Cersei. She knows how Cersei moves. She doesn't have that or know those things about Daenerys. So maybe Sansa will pull a Littlefinger move. It's politics now. Someone has to be the Season 8 Littlefinger, right? Littlefinger played the Starks against the Lannisters and the Lannisters against the Tyrells and went back and played Cersei against Roose Bolton. So maybe Sansa would fulfill that role, playing Cersei while playing Daenerys as well, with the ultimate goal of getting Jon on the throne. And it seemed to set her up in Season 3 to be able to use Tyrion to do so. Although, to be honest, she wouldn't need Tyrion to be a Littlefinger. I mean, Littlefinger did his dirt in letters, ravens, and notes. So maybe Sansa sends ahead a warning to Cersei that Daenerys is coming. Do you guys remember that saying, the enemy of my enemy is my friend? It's definitely something to think about. So we get a good look at the dragons, and we can see they did sustain some wounds. You can see holes in one of their wings. I thought it was Rhaegal, but more likely it's Drogon, because when we later see this image of Rhaegal, it doesn't look like he has the holes in his wings. It also looks like Daenerys is trying to connect more with Rhaegal. Maybe Rhaegal is wounded and she's like, fly, honey, fly, baby. And in this shot, Daenerys is beside Drogon, looking up, likely at Rhaegal flying either by himself because he was injured or with Jon, and it's finally sinking in that he really is a Targaryen because he's flying a dragon. Then we see Jon leaving Winterfell on a horse with Davos right behind him. So I think they are going to leave Winterfell and head for Dragonstone. We had already seen a shot of both of them at Dragonstone earlier in the Season 8 trailer, so it's likely they're both going to Dragonstone. Jon is gonna fight for Daenerys. The fastest way to get all of her army to Dragonstone is by ships. So Daenerys just needs to go to White Harbor and then take her ships down to Dragonstone. But like I said, Daenerys has lost the majority of her army. She lost most, if not all, of the Dothraki. I mean, only a few made it back, maybe like 4. And who's to say that they survived the battle? Tons of unsullied were lost as well. I would say that she likely lost about 1/3, if not half of them. She will likely have the northern support via Jon Snow, and she may be able to rally some support in the Riverlands. She will have the support of the Knights of the Vale, however many of them are left, because it looks like Lord Royce is approving of Daenerys in this moment. She does have 2 dragons, but dragons are vulnerable. Cersei has the Golden Company. That's 20,000 fresh troops. She also has Euron Greyjoy, the Iron Fleet, Barrels and Barrels of Wildfire, Qyburn, and the Undead Mountain. She is not going to go down without a fight. Euron in the books has Dragonbinder, which is a dragon horn that can make dragons control, like you can control dragons to your will. But I don't think that will make the show. The Horn of Winter didn't make the show, so Dragonbinder probably won't either. Cersei isn't going to go down without a fight, though. She's just not. So they might wound or kill a dragon. I don't know. They might capture someone. However, Daenerys or Jon does have 2 other weapons that no one else has, and that's Bran and Arya. Bran could maybe help get some information. I don't know, do some green seeing. I don't know what Bran's going to do. But Arya knows the hidden passageways into the Red Keep. So Arya could be the assassin she is and assassinate. Melisandre did say Arya would close green eyes, blue eyes, and brown eyes. So maybe that the green eyes are Cersei. But I'm not sure if Arya will even go with them. Speaking of Arya, there is also another shot of Arya and Gendry. And they looking to be getting it on again. I think Gendry may be staying in Winterfell while Arya leaves or vice versa. May be their I'll be back moment. I would think Brienne would go with them, but Brienne is sworn to protect Sansa, so it's likely Brienne will stay in Winterfell, or Arya will protect her sister and Brienne can go. But then again, maybe they think she's safe now and she doesn't need protecting. At one point, we have Cersei in 3 clips. A shot of the Golden Company in King's Landing. It looks like Euron gets on one knee and he's begging for something. He's the real beggar king, not Viserys, Euron. He's likely asking her to marry him again. This shot of Cersei, she looks to be on the battlements of King's Landing with Euron, and this looks like a Lannister archer. But Daenerys says she's going to rip her out root and stem, and I'm just saying it will not be easy. Daenerys cannot beat Euron Greyjoy at sea. She cannot beat the Crow's Eye at sea, but maybe she will because we don't expect it. But Dany does have Yara Greyjoy waiting in the wing, and hopefully Yara comes through and wrecks shit. I hope Yara is the one to kill Euron, honestly. But I also hope Euron and Cersei aren't beat easily and they wreck some shit. As long as Ghost, Rhaegal, and Drogon are safe, really, I don't care. My one big question is, what about Jaime now? Does Jaime stay Team Targaryen or does he return to his sister? But what do you think? What do you think is going to happen in Season 8, Episode 4? As always, thanks for watching. Thanks to everyone that supports me on Patreon. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please click that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and join the sweet summer family. Okay, my sweet summer children, have a good day.